Okay, let me finish. I gotta prove it.
Prove what?
I'm not a mistake.
You want to become best, you want to become champion, and now you want to say like you tired? Who cares? You tired or not? Nobody cares about you. Without you or with you, there is always gonna be champions. With your name, this is your choice. You wanna put your name there? Okay, work hard. No? Bye-bye.
I will do everything to win, and I need to win, because when I win is my proof that I am alive.
Ignore and outperform them. While you're over there watching me and talking about me, I'm working hard. I'm taking things to the next level. You keep gossiping and I'll keep working. You keep talking smack and I'll keep working. You keep focusing on everything and everyone else and I'll keep working. And when you finally look around at where you are and where I'm at, you realize that you have nothing left to talk smack about. And you will lose and I will win.
Let's see what you do when you're tired. Let me see how you push yourself. Come on, man. Get up. Get up again tomorrow. Get up again tomorrow. Get up again tomorrow. The next day. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Keep going.
Tired don't mean nothing. Tired is only in the mind. You tell yourself you're tired, you're gonna be tired. I don't get tired.
My philosophy is, why be normal when you can be the best? I don't want to be normal. I want to make the difference. So everything I do, I want to make the difference. Because when I make the difference, I'm the best. And that is not arrogance, that is confidence.
With success in life comes more haters. Don't make them hurt your feelings. Use them for fuel. Use them for energy. In times of need, put them on mental Rolodex in your mind. And when you don't want to do shit, roll through your brain. Pull up that person who said you couldn't do something. Weren't fast enough, good enough, smart enough. Use it for energy. Instead of killing them with kindness, torture them with success. In life, we have to continue pushing past the odds. Use everything this world has to give you for fuel.
To be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. No shortcuts.
You love this game? I mean, love it with your whole heart. Because if you don't, let's not even bother. Let's not open that door. They're just gonna slam it right in our face. I love this game. I live this game. There's 1,000 other guys waiting in the wings who are obsessed with this game. Obsession's gonna be talent every time. You got all the talent in the world, but are you obsessed? Is it all you ever think about? Let's face it, it's you against you out there. When you walk on that court, you have to think, I am the best guy out there.
Because in the early days, hard was, ooh, stop. This isn't good. I should, this is a warning sign. This is a red flag. I should slow down, or I should stop, I should pivot. The more I think about it as a competitive landscape, as I'm clear on what this path is supposed to look like. And these rocks and these dragons are things that I'm going to have to slay along the way to get the princess or get the treasure. I get happier about the harder it is because I know that no one else will follow.
It's a selection effect.
I don't really want to work out. I work out. I really don't want to hammer on a project. I hammer on the project. Don't really want to get up and get out of bed. Yeah, I get up and get out of bed.
You better fight yourself, because you're not only winning when things are going your way. You got to figure out how to win when things aren't going your way. You got to figure out when your body's fighting you, when your mind's fighting you. I'm gonna beat my mind today. Or do you just give in to your mind and say, oh, I'm tired today, I'm lazy, I don't want to do it, it's too hard, no one else is doing it, it's a weekend, it's too late, these are already off hours, oh, exactly what I want isn't happening right now. Like, okay, great. You know who that's great for? Your competition.
One thing that discipline definitely does help you with is it helps you get things done. And when you get things done, when you actually do things, you have more success. 90% of it is just showing up. Get there and start working. Like, you're not going to feel perfect every day. There's got to be those days you push through, and they're probably going to be more numerous than the days you don't. And so the benefit of discipline in my eyes has always been that through discipline, I get things done.
You must believe it. You must sit back. When I say in a sedative state, we all know what we want to become. You must believe that. You must believe that in this sedative state, you can become that. We all know right and wrong sedatively. But every single day you do these little things. They help give me the strength to do certain things in my life, because I can't do it one time and one time only. You have to build that up from day to day. You start to build that out. And then when it comes to the day, there is no other way. Boom! You are the man. You're the man before you start the fucking race. Because you believe it.
You know, there's a Bible verse I think about sometimes, many times. It goes, "Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send? And who will go for us? And I said, here am I. Send me."
If you haven't gotten what you want, then you're not worthy of it, period. And that's okay. Now you can admit that you suck and improve. Better to know you're bad for a season than pretend you're good for a lifetime. You're not making as much money as you want because you're not as good as you think you are.
So being fearless means putting yourself out there and going for it. No matter what, go for it. Not for anybody else, but for yourself.
If I want to be good, I gotta wake up in the morning, I gotta do the extra work. And I gotta show up when other guys aren't. And I've gotta learn, I've gotta continue to be open to learning. Focus on what you can control. Focus on what you're getting, not what anyone else is getting. Whenever you get an opportunity, you take advantage of it. You treat it like it's the Super Bowl. You treat it like it's game day. Go out there and treat practice like no one else does.
It's supposed to be hard. Everything worth pursuing comes with a little pain. The trick is not minding that it hurts.
When you feel that pressure inside of you and it's very heavy, like weather that's very, heavy and thick, you're motivated, you feel it. I've got to get up in the morning. I've got to do this. I've got to accomplish this. When that pressure goes away and you don't feel any pressure in your life, you can do anything and there's no consequences for it. You'll just waste time. You'll waste years. You'll waste months. You'll never accomplish anything.
The biggest advice I could give you right now, 85 to 90% of life is just showing up. Show up. If you show up, there's a chance something could happen.
Get serious. That's number one. I don't know any substitute for that. What do you want to do economically? Where do you want to go? What do you want to be? What would you like to have? What would you like to share? How much would you like to earn? 10 years from now, you will surely become someone. The big question is, who?
If I'm running on a treadmill and I get to mile 9 and I get complete cramp in one of my legs, and I know I've told myself I'm going to run 10 kilometers today, he goes, I will have to limp the last mile, even if no one's watching, because I can't let the demons in. And if I let the demons in, they'll show up in the 11th round of a championship fight when there's 50,000 people watching me in the audience. And I know deep in my self-story that I'm the type of person that quits when things get hard because I got off that treadmill at mile 9 when no one was watching. It would modify my self-story.
How much harder will you work in this offseason now to get back to the championship?
I'll push myself to exhaustion.
Blocking, tackling, until they get tired. Because you don't know what tired feels like.
We're not on this stage just because of talent or ability. We're up here because of 4 a.m. We're up here because of 2-a-days or 5-a-days. We're up here because we had a dream and let nothing stand in our way. If anything tried to bring us down, we used it to make us stronger. We were never satisfied, never finished, will never be retired. My high school English teacher, Mr. Fisk, he had this beautiful quote, and it read, "Rest at the end, not in the middle." And I took that to heart. I believe there's time for resting at the end, but for me, that time is not now. To have a dream, sacrifice for it, and never ever rest in the middle.
It's every day of your life just doing. No passion. Where's passion when you're 300 pounds? Where's the motivation when you can't read and write? Where is it? So how did this happen? I just did. I said, maybe at the end of this journey, there'll be something there for me. If not, I can read.
There is a cost to pay for almost anything. And a trick in almost any endeavor in life is figuring out what the cost is and just being willing to pay it.
There were a lot of days where I did not want to get out of bed.
And I guarantee you, if I asked the question here, if everybody is excited to get out of bed every single day, if I saw a hand, I'm gonna blatantly call you a liar. Because we all know that is far from the truth. But if you have those little small goals, those little small things that get you excited when you don't want to, it's gonna make it even better and even easier at the end when you're getting ready for a presentation at the end of the year or this or that, whatever event you're leading up to. It's gonna make it so much easier. And I think if you look at the greats in anything that, in any walk of life, the greats do things when they don't always want to. And that's the separation. I believe that whatever I put my mind to, and if I was willing to make sacrifices and I was dedicated, that I could achieve absolutely anything. And you still do? I still do.
How many of you can honestly look yourself in the mirror and say, I am doing my best? Because if you can, you're fucking lying to yourself. Your job right now and how you execute that job is going to create the success habits that you're going to need down the road. How you do one thing is how you do everything. If it's making fries, if you ain't making the best motherfucking fries every fucking time, guess what? You ain't gonna fucking make it. If you can't sweep the warehouse floor better than the next guy, you ain't gonna fucking make it. Because here's the truth. Losers always talk about how they hate to lose, but they don't do anything about it. But you know what winners do? Winners will do whatever the fuck it takes. Winners will show up and stay late every fucking day until they're winning. Winners will talk to anybody they can that can help them and take the lessons to heart and put them in play. That's what winners do. Losers talk about hating to lose. Losers say they hate to lose. Losers talk about how they want to win. Winners do what the fuck it takes. And that means beating the next guy. If you aren't going to work at your job every day and looking at all the other motherfuckers and thinking, dude, I'm going to beat the shit out of all of you, you don't have what it takes. Winners want to be the best. Winners have pride in being the best. Winners have pride in being dominant amongst their teammates.
I'd say just listen to yourself. Don't listen to anybody else, not one person, because God forbid anything went wrong. You can't blame other people and start pointing the finger. Always know that you're only to blame yourself because you made that decision. And whatever you do in life, never regret it. Never if, buts, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Give everything while you can, when you can, and leave nothing behind.
You can control the work ethic, the consistent discipline, your attitude, your culture, how much you care. All those things are in you. They just need to be drawn out of you. I know I don't feel good today, but I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna prove to myself that even on days that it doesn't feel right, I push myself. The only way to gain confidence in yourself is to build something. It's not to wait for it to happen. You have
As bad as you want to breathe, it's what goes on when the cameras go off. Hard work, determination, and grit.
You will not outwork me. I will get up earlier than you. I will go to sleep later than you. I will put in more hours than you. I will read more than you. I will grow. I will do whatever it takes.
I do things to separate myself from everybody else. The passion that I have when I speak, the grind that I have when I do what I do. What are you going to do to separate yourself?
And if you don't believe it, then that journey turns into a debate. Without belief, every journey will turn into a debate. If you don't prior study it, if you don't find the value, for me, Ranger School, if I didn't have the value of what the Ranger tab meant to me, not my dad, my mom, or girlfriend, to me. But I wanted to be part of that fucking high society. That meant a lot to me. And I knew for that to mean a lot to me, you had to earn it. I trained for it. I sacrificed for it more than I can ever fucking talk about. And then I fucking achieved it.
It has everything to do with what time you wake up. It has everything to do with how you eat. It has everything to do with how you work out, how you prepare. It has every single thing to do with how you think. And when you want it as bad as you want to breathe says, I'm willing to make any sacrifice. I'm willing to go through any pain. I'm willing to go through any suffering. I'm willing to go through whatever it takes. So when I get in there and it's me and him one-on-one, that I guarantee you at the end of it, I won't be the one that surrendered.
In my state of, I can't read or write, I knew exactly what to do. It just sucks doing it. It sucks to do it. It sucks to wake up every morning of your life and say, God, man, I'm not smart, So guess what I gotta do? I gotta study the same shit that I got one of the highest scores in the nation on.
If you are sitting in this room and you have extraordinary aspirations, then you're gonna have to do extra. You put extra on top of ordinary and you come up with extraordinary. It's no other way. You have to decide if you are willing to do the things to put you in that category.
I will party later. That's been my mentality. It's like, I'm not going to trick off my early years for partying and then worry about struggling, how I'm going to make it, how I'm going to take care of my family, how I'm going to take care of everybody else. Like, that's not going to be me. I'm going to grind it out now. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to set up the foundation so I can enjoy myself later. That's always been my mentality. And that works for me.
And if you're gonna be the best, the cream of the crop, if you're gonna be the apex, you gotta be it. It has to consume you. You gotta learn how not to give up or how not to give in. And you gotta understand that greatness is within you. And you gotta pull it out. You gotta climb every mountain. You gotta cry if you got to, but whatever you do, you cannot give up. You cannot give in. Nobody ever said it would be easy, but I know greatness is within you and you got what it takes.
If you wanna be good, you really don't have a lot of choices because it takes what it takes.
You're working 15 hours a day. That's just the entry level to winning. Okay, that doesn't mean nothing. That just means you've decided to enter the gates of winning.
Imagine that you're in a movie, and imagine the movie begins now, and you're the hero of the movie.
Yeah.
What would that guy do?
Yeah.
What would that guy do right now?
Yeah.
Because you are.
I had to stop thinking normal. I had to stop thinking normal. I can no longer be a common man walking around doing common things.
Focus on what you're doing, get better at what you're doing. Everything else is a complete waste of time.
I said, I want 10 reps, Joe. So he knocks out 10. I said, Joe, you got to give me 2 more. So he knocks out 2 more. I said, Joe, 1 more. Give me another one. You can do it. You can do it. 10 reps turned out to be 18 reps.
Never wish for what somebody else got because you don't know what they did to get it and you don't know what they're doing to keep it. And do what you do. Right? Stop worrying about what everybody else is doing. Stop looking at what everybody else is doing and stay focused on what it is that you feel God has called you to do specifically. That's your greatness. That's where your power is.
You can have what you want in 5 years, but there's 2 conditions. You have to know what it is and you have to aim at it. Figure out what you want, write it down, figure out what you could do to start moving towards that. Okay. Do that with your family relationships. Do that with your friendships. Do that with your career. Do that with your education. Think about your misuse of alcohol and drugs and other things that might drag you down. If you want to drink, it's like, you want to be a bumbling Barney Gumble idiot? Like, you want to drink? Okay, what do you mean by that exactly? How often? How much is too much? How are you going to constrain that and why? Develop a vision. And you have to do that in dialogue with yourself, right? It's like, if I could have what I wanted, what would satisfy me?
I want you guys to think about what your dreams are, what your goals are. You know, I say this a lot, man. People far less ability than you, far less talent than you, genetics, whatever else, have achieved far more. Why? Because they had the perseverance and drive. They had the ability to show up. They had the ability to challenge themselves on an average Monday or Tuesday, to build the confidence to succeed on a Sunday or a Saturday when the crowd was there. No one walks into the arena with their hand raised. No inventor succeeds on the first time. You know, I didn't succeed on the APFT the first time. I was going after something impossible, but I felt like I could do it. I trained and fought it, and it took everything about me. I puked my fucking life out at the end while I won. Didn't have the opportunity to fucking celebrate because I was so fucking still done expelling the old me, so I could be ready for the new me.
I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed.
You don't need great parents. You don't need like a private school. You don't need to have this humongous GPA. What you need is the one thing I talked about in my book, which is straight up brutal work ethic. You have to be willing to outwork everybody in the world.
To win, you gotta lose.
to be successful, you got to have something that's not successful. To be happy, you got to have disappointment. So I think all of those things have evolved and happened to make me who I am and understand the benefits and the privileges I have.
If you're saying, okay, I'm going to climb Mount Everest, and you're at the bottom of the mountain and you look up and you're going, I'm not going to climb Mount Everest, right? But if you break it down into sections and you just 1 foot in front of the other, 1 step at a time, next thing you know, you're at the top of the mountain.
Just keep stacking days. Just keep stacking days. As long as you keep stacking days, I promise you, you will see the change. But my coach used to always say, everything that you want is on the other side of hard.
Sun don't stop for nobody, man. Sun gonna be up in the morning regardless. And at nighttime, the moon gonna be there. And you gonna look up, these days gonna keep going by. So do you let the days go by and look up and you done wasted a year doing what? Or do you just pick it up? All right, well, gotta figure it out, made some mistakes, life goes on. Let me figure out life from this point. I'm a life goes on type of guy.
Why am I here? Why do I have to go through this pain? Why do I have to go through this fear all the time? Why can't it just be peaceful all the time? Then it wouldn't be life. Life is beautiful, but you have to accept the good and the bad as being beautiful.
Go back to the gym, work, because you have more to show. You understand? Life continue. You cannot live in the past, because pain you're gonna have all the time, uncertainty and constant work. It doesn't matter what's happening. It's gonna happen in your life. You have to continue. This is the way I see the life, and football especially.
A blade does not become strong. It does not become tempered until it's been through the fire, several times. And this is just your first or second time through the fire. And there's a lot of hammer work that has to take place. And then you're gonna have to go back in the forge again. And it's hot, and it melts you down, and you're uncomfortable. And then life is gonna pull you out, and it's gonna put you on the anvil, and it's gonna hammer on you some more.
The commitments we keep to ourselves and what we do when no one's watching is the most persuasive evidence that governs everything we then do every day thereafter. And this is, for me, was a huge revelation in my life because, you know, you can look at certain people in your lives that are struggling in certain situations, and oftentimes it's a result of continually unkept commitments to themselves.
I know who I am. Like losing, you find out who you are. And losing sucks, but in those moments, like when you're down, it's a great time to experience you. You know, because like when you're winning, you can get this momentum. When everything's going good, you can kind of get in that groove where you're just on cruise control, you know? But when you lose and the phone stops ringing and you're at home laying in bed going to sleep by yourself and everything, the dust settles, you know, that's when you experience yourself, who you really are.
You're in the woods and you don't know where to go because the wife's not there anymore, the job's not there anymore, you don't know where to go right now. So if you're in the woods and you don't know where to go, start walking. You got to start walking because the perspective's not going to change. You have to start moving forward. You have to start taking steps in order to improve your vision, improve your perspective, change your perspective, make some kind of progress. And worst case scenario, you figure out that you walked the wrong direction. Okay, now you can go walk in the other direction. And that's going to be fine. But standing there lost and not doing anything is just waiting to die, waiting to starve to death. Don't let that happen.
The man who never fell has no glory. The man who fell and got back up, that's where his glory is.
And I have a saying, right? Interested people watch obsessed people change the world. Everyone talks about maximizing their time. Kobe and I were interested in maximizing his focus. When you maximize your focus, it gave us more time.
I didn't teach myself victory first. I taught myself failure. I taught myself how to fail. If you don't know how to fail, there is no victory. I never talked about winning because I knew the path to winning was going to be years of failing first. So I taught myself how to fail properly.
All right, you got one life. And that one life, the goal for us is to live it to the best of our ability from the beginning to what's said the end. In the beginning, you're going to do things, you're going to make mistakes, you're supposed to learn, and then move forward with the understanding of what not to do. And when you move forward, Life may get better, it may not, but somewhere along the lines it's gonna click.
I hate losing. I mean, it's not even a question. But I have to respect losing because losing is a part of winning. Yeah. You never just, win. You got to lose to win. Losing is going to hurt. Absolutely. To a point where you would look at, how can I do things different? How can I change? How can I make this team better? And that's the thing about a team, and you know this too, is that before you can look at someone else, you got to look at yourself in the mirror because that's how things get started.
I'd say one of the strongest mental frames that has got me through my hardest times is thinking this will be the story that I will one day tell. And that means the harder it is, the bigger the dragon, the more epic the story, and by consequence, the more epic the hero.
You're not going to score on every shot.
Right.
Doesn't mean you shouldn't take the shots. Doesn't mean you shouldn't try to hit the goal. But part of being able to continue to take shots is to have the strength of character to tolerate the fact that in that instance, you weren't on top.
Failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of it. Mm-hmm. Right? Failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of it. And the reason that I'm saying that is because when it says don't be pushed by your problems, problems are a part of the journey. Opposition are a part of the journey, right? Adversity is a part of the journey. Like it's all a part of development and growth as a person.
And if you think about the difference between winners and losers, winners define themselves by what they made happen, and losers define themselves by what happened to them.
I've lost in kickboxing, I've lost in boxing, I've lost in life, I've lost in love, I've lost in family. Like life is, you don't just win all the time, it's wins and losses. So you roll with the punches.
We're all writing a book. What's your book look like? Like your life is a book. You got a bunch of chapters in your book, but when they close that book, how good was the book? How good was your book? What was the ending to your book? If the ending to my book can be so amazing because of all that was done.
When you're feeling the most trapped and down and nothing can go right, I feel like those are the moments that define you. When people give up right before they get what they've always wanted to get, people quit.
I would sit down at the table with you and I'd say, if you really want to be transformed, you have to live an intentional life. This is so simple, I don't want you to miss it. Most people don't lead their life, they accept their life. And when you accept your life, you are living on things that are not worthy of your time and effort and energy. And you heard me say in a moment, everything worthwhile is uphill. The reason I want you to understand that is, to go uphill, you have to be intentional. Nobody ever went uphill by accident. You've never read a book on accidental achievements. You have to be intentional with what you do and who you are.
I think the easiest thing in life is to give up on whatever you're focused on or whatever you're hopeful for. The hardest thing is to continue to keep going, but we have to.
What one great thing would you dare to dream if you knew you could not fail? If you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that you could not fail, what one thing would you set as a goal for yourself? Because sometimes answering that question will tell you the one thing that you've been put on this earth to accomplish.
You won my car, and you earned my respect.
Keep your car. Your respect is good enough for me.
The things in life that are most valuable, most desired upon, are things you can't buy, but every motherfucker can earn if they want them bad enough. Do you? You know you can do it. You're standing in your own fucking way. And why don't you stop being that guy? That girl? Why don't you for once believe in the person you always knew you could be? Just fucking